here's another important secret or dimension of being an effective leader to a great team. There's a typical issue in the industry of a really good sales guy being promoted as a sales manager and then becoming a lousy manager because he's more interested in going out and selling. A really good computer programmer, IT programmer, being promoted as a team lead or maybe a manager of a team of other coders and programmers, and he wants to code because that's where his strength lies. So what happens in these cases is that you create a lousy manager and you lose a great salesperson. You create a lousy manager and you lose a great coder or programmer. And if that's the case, I think you should be focusing on where your strengths lie. But the fact that you're looking at building and leading a great team means that this is probably not the case. The case is that of you wanting to lead people and wanting to take them to a level of competence to be able to meet the goals that you set for your department, for your team, for your organization as a whole, based on the context. And one of the things for you to keep in mind, and that's really also the title of this module, it is all right to not execute. There are a lot of managers who feel guilty that they're not doing the work themselves. In fact, if you're effective, if you're doing a good job as a leader, you will realize that the workload on you is quite less. You're expected to know your domain well. You're expected to step in, to roll up your sleeves and step in and solve a problem when there's a need. But also if you can facilitate a solution to that problem, that's good enough. What is important is for you as a leader to realize that your job is to lead the team, is to make sure the team moves together, works together, performs together in order to achieve the goals. That's what will make you a great leader. And there's never a need to feel guilty for working less. There's never a need to feel guilty that you are not doing the actual work yourself, which your team members are doing. If your team members are doing it, that reflects on your competence. If your team members are doing a brilliant job and they need minimum supervision, that reflects on your competence. And also there are managers, if I just push this one notch higher, there are leaders of teams who have hired a great team. And they look at this great team and they realize that, almost from the start, this team is taking care of itself. And they feel like, oh my God, this team is working so perfectly. Did I do everything right? Do I have to jump in and contribute? In fact, you might actually be spoiling that team and making them a little less competent by doing that. Because then they're going to start leaning on you because you're going to go there and stand like a pillar. They're going to start leaning on you. Then they're going to start doing less. Then you're going to take on some of their load, and that's going to lead to incompetence. If your team is performing really well, that's a sign that you can just sit back. That means you did a great job in building the team. If you remember some of the earlier steps I spoke about in some earlier modules of identifying the elements of greatness, about qualities of a great team, looking at past behavior and hiring the right people. Once you've done that, then the team is performing well. It just shows that you did some fantastic hiring. And that's something for you to be proud of. Also, if it means that, over time, you've had to mentor them, coach them, and they're doing a great job, that's the time for you to move to the next level. Maybe expand your team, moving into new products, making sure your turnaround time is better, your customer satisfaction rates are better, your work effectiveness is higher, productivity goes up. If you can focus on these things with the same team, that would be closer to being your role. Rather than you thinking that I'm not doing the job that they are doing, so is this all right? And let me tell you, it's absolutely all right. In fact, it's the only thing that's all right, because as a leader, you're expected to lead, not to execute. If there's a need to execute under the pressure of necessity, it's great to be able to do it. But if you don't have to do it, there's nothing to feel guilty about.